Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, to the Honorable Mr. Ferry Januar Irawan as a lecturer in the English course. My goal for making this video is to fulfill an English assessment. And then I will introduce myself. My name is Sabrina Putri Maharani with name 2019 1015 1017 9. I would like to present my abstract with a journal title that is already available on your screen, namely Potential and Problem for the Development of Tourism Residential Area in Salena, Palu Village. Okay, now I will explain the content of my selected journal abstract. As physical, the settlement surroundings as a residential circle that inside was a specific social characteristic because of personal contact to happen. That large in comprehension, the human attendance will be created house and society surroundings along with important the agree with in and virus. The tourism have thus a complex role and phenomenon that settlement surrounding change of a physical surroundings the superior. The local community as a stakeholder in concept composing of tourism developing and closed should be by planning activity to the concept operationalism. Research product to show that Salena as a hinterland area potential to improve as tourism settlement region are several as hinterland village at Palu city so that traditional architecture to the traditional rural settlement, the house and surroundings format to dynamic collective life. They have a natural and culture while they as isolated community. The culture tourism active was suspended to natural and culture. Conservation was sustainable by community and surroundings continue to application tribuna concept. In development, the Salena village of the settlement region management. Okay, next I will explain the research objective. Number 1. Obtain an hydrographical description of the environmental condition of settlement and settlers' house as tourism potential. Number 2. Categorize the diversity of residential and residential land use so that they can be used as tourism object. And number 3, get an overview of the relationship between residential house and yard and their neighborhood. Formulation of the problem. What are the potential and problem in developing a tourism settlement area in the Salena Hamlet, Palu? Okay, now I will explain the result and discussion. Characteristic of the residential environment in Dusun Salena. Dusun Salena is a portrait of a village city communicate life unit, where initially the entire population depended on it from cultivation garden land on the slopes of the mountain by shifting cultivation. And this has implications for nomaden settlement patterns. In terms of land use, it can be classified into rural area where the majority of the population depended on their livelihoods on plantation land in the vicinity of the environment, which is also their residential area. What is meant by the need? An ability is a measure of the need and ability of a family unit to meet the need of the family for 1 year. This has implications for the community cost of clearing land which is considered productive in the following season. The development of the Salena Hamlet tourism settlement area from the aspect of land function in the management of yard in the residential unit of the Salena community. It can be said that it is very effective and efficient. This can be seen from the absence of territorial boundaries between the yard of one residential unit and other residential unit. The three factors of residential have a correlation with the function and role of the house in the community in Salena Hamlet. This means if the three factors of consideration above cannot or have not been fulfilled by the expected land condition, then for the Salena people, the choice is one pleasant land outside the spatial distance, which may consequently have to reside on the pleasant land. In fact, from the aspect of land suitability, it is still very potential to be developed, so that later it can become the basic for family income. The potential of the environment as an artificial resource and the potential of a river with waterfall as a natural resource are very likely to be a spectacular tourist asset to meet the needs of the people of Palu in particular. Next, I will explain the conclusion. Number 1. Hamlet Salena is a village on the outskirts of Palu, or an underdeveloped village, which has a tourist attraction or object, took the form of traditional architecture, art of house buildings, and as a traditional rural settlement environment. Number 2. The form of housing and environment formed in Salena Hamlet reflect the structure of dynamic collective life, has natural assets and cultural assets that are very attractive as an isolated community. And number 3, as a residential area in the hinterland of Palu, the hamlet of Salena has the attraction of culture tourism, which is a very dependent on the sustainability of conservation action toward nature and culture owned by the community and the environment which in developing its argument and design is related to the embodiment of the tribunal principally, namely environmental development, community development, and business development.